Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHONJ, Joe Judas begs President Trump for pardon. Former RHONJ House husband Joe Judas is begging President Donald Trump for a pardon. He spent 41 months in prison for bankruptcy fraud and was eventually forced to leave America. The father of four now lives and works in the Bahamas. So what exactly did he say to the president? Keep reading for more details. It has been 5 years since RHONJ star Joe Judas was released from prison and deported back to Italy. For his family, it was terrifying, as they had been fighting for him to stay in America. He was still married to Teresa Giudice, who was raising their 4 children in New Jersey. She had also served time for their fraud convictions, but for less than a year. When Joe was sent to Italy, his wife and daughters traveled to see him, but he was asked for a divorce. It was clear that his time behind bars had changed everyone and caused a lot of distance. Now in the Bahamas, Joe's girls can come and see him whenever they want. Plus, he has started his own business endeavors. He promotes them vigorously on social media and even had a short merch drop. Now he is desperate to return to America, so he is begging President Donald Trump for a pardon. Joe shared a slide of snaps, old and new, to illustrate how important his family is to him. He then added that he just wanted to be able to travel and see his girls again. The former RHONJ star finished his message off by stating how much he respected the president. It makes sense that he would go this route, as a pardon was just granted to reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley. The couple was serving a collective 19 years behind bars, but their daughter worked tirelessly to get them released. Savannah Chrisley campaigned with President Trump and did not stop until Todd and Julie were home. This is a very real possibility that Joe Judas could get a pardon from President Trump. He was willing to listen to Savannah Chrisley's pleas over her parents and respected her family. Therefore, he ultimately pardoned them and could not wait to get them released within 24 hours. The RHONJ family has struggled with Joe being away, and he is showing his respect to President Trump. That could bode well for him, and many of his followers felt very good about him getting a pardon. If he can pardon the Chrisleys, he can pardon Joe. Joe has paid the price. Please bring him home. This is one pardon I can get on board with. He received support from his ex-wife as well as their daughters. Of course, some followers felt that this could not happen and questioned why Joe did not become a citizen when he had the chance. These questions could be asked for days, but now all Joe wants is to be able to come and go as he pleases. Do you believe that Joe has a chance of returning, and would this make for a good RHONJ spin-off? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. In an unexpected twist worthy of its own Real Housewives reunion special, former Real Housewives of New Jersey star Joe Judas has reportedly made a desperate plea to none other than former President Donald Trump, requesting a full presidential pardon. Once a staple of Bravo's reality TV royalty, Joe is now seeking a dramatic return, not to television, but to the United States. A reality star in exile. After serving a 41-month prison sentence for mail, wire, and bankruptcy fraud, Joe Judas was deported to his native Italy in 2019. Since then, he's lived a quieter life in Salerno, Italy, far from the spotlight of Franklin Lakes. But the distance hasn't dulled his desire to return to America, where his 4 daughters, Gia, Gabriella, Melania, and Adriana, still live with his ex-wife, Teresa Giudice. Sources close to Joe claim the former TV personality has been exploring every legal avenue to overturn his deportation. His latest strategy? Appealing to the man who's made a career out of surprise twists and improbable comebacks, Donald J. Trump. Please, Mr. President. Joe's request reportedly came in the form of a personal letter to Trump, filled with emotional appeals, legal arguments, and plenty of the charm that made him a fan favorite during his Bravo tenure. In the letter, Joe emphasizes his dedication to his family his reformed lifestyle, and the harsh consequences of being separated from his children. "I've made mistakes, yes," the letter allegedly reads, "but I've paid for them. I've done my time. Now I just want to be a father to my girls and a citizen in the country where I've lived my entire life." Judas's plea hinges on the idea that while he was technically never an American citizen, he came to the U.S. as a baby and was unaware that his green card status could be jeopardized by a felony conviction. His legal team is arguing that his deportation was unjust and inhumane, especially considering his roots in the U.S. and the fact that his entire immediate family resides there. Why Trump? At first glance, the idea of Joe Judas appealing to Donald Trump might seem like a reality TV fever dream. But on closer inspection, the connection isn't so far-fetched. Both men are larger-than-life personalities with past ties to unscripted television. Trump, the former host of The Apprentice, has a history of issuing high-profile pardons, including for figures like Lil Wayne, Joe Arpaio, and Roger Stone. Joe Judas's legal team is hoping that Trump, known for his unpredictable moves and media savvy, will see a kindred spirit in Joe, and perhaps a high-visibility redemption story. President Trump understands what it's like to be targeted by the system. One insider close to Judas reportedly said, "We're hoping he sees Joe's case for what it is, a man who made a mistake, owned up to it, and deserves a second chance." Public sympathy and Bravo fans rally. Supporters of Judas have launched a social media campaign with the hashtag #PardonJoe, urging fans to post messages directed at Trump and tag him in hopes of drawing attention to the cause. The campaign has gained traction, particularly among RHONJ fans who still view Joe as an integral part of the show's golden era. Teresa Judas, despite her complicated history with Joe, has publicly expressed sympathy for his plight. In a recent interview, she said, "No matter what happened between us, he's still the father of my children. They need him, and he deserves a chance to be part of their lives in person." Even Joe Judas, now in her early 20s and increasingly vocal on social issues, has spoken out, pleading with Trump in a heartfelt Instagram post. "We're not asking for a pass. My dad did his time, but deporting him for a mistake he already paid for is cruel. We just want our family whole again." Legal experts react. While Trump's time in the Oval Office ended in January 2021, Joe's legal team is banking on the possibility that Trump could regain power, or at least use his influence to advocate on Joe's behalf with current political allies or in the public arena. Pardons can only be issued by a sitting president, but Trump still holds immense sway, says immigration attorney Claire Bellucci. Even if he can't directly help now, he can amplify Joe's story and apply public pressure to revisit the deportation decision. Some legal experts remain skeptical about the likelihood of reversing a deportation under current laws, particularly for non-citizens convicted of felonies. But others argue that Joe's unique circumstances, his lifelong residence in the U.S., his celebrity status, and his current clean record make his case exceptionally compelling. Is redemption possible? Whether Trump will respond to the plea remains unknown. The former president has not commented publicly on the matter, and his team has remained tight-lipped about any potential consideration of Joe's request.